Two Bird on a Wire by Free Craft on Loose. This fic includes My Hero Academia level violence. That is your warning. Read by Lily6645. Chapter 2. Ready, set, fight! When back in their room, Izuku bounced on his feet. Meeting Eraserhead got him pumped up. Izuku isn't sure he will be able to sleep after this. Even after cleaning themselves and changing into other clothes, Izuku is still high on energy. While Keigo, his brother, ready to crash on the bed and pass out. "We just met Eraserhead," Izuku said, jumping into his bed. "I know, Zu. Calm down. You're being noisy." He got Izuku to sober while he cracked open the jelly pouch Eraserhead gave them. "It's not like anyone else will hear us." Keigo's shoulders slumped and he moved to his brother's side. "I'm sorry for reminding you, Zu." Keigo wrapped Izuku in a warm hug. Keigo and Izuku, in fact, didn't live in a house. They are living in an underground fighting ring. They are one of the regular fighters, owned by the ringmaster. Izuku and Keigo are only 7 when they were sold to this place, and 8 when they have their first official fights inside the ring. This place, the dorm, how Izuku likes to call it, makes it less pitiful. Used to be full of people, and some of them aren't that much older than the twins, but now this place is empty. It only took 3 years, and only Izuku and Keigo are left. The rest have moved on. Izuku just wished they had swift and painless deaths. Not like that is any possibility for that. Not like there's any possibility for that. After 2 years of fighting in the ring, Izuku and Keigo finally had enough, and they choose the way they die. Not like it would surely be that way when their time finally comes. They are not suicidal, not to that extreme. The way of death they chose is by helping people. The 2 of them started going out as vigilantes 3 months ago. Their handler never really cares where they are at, as long as they are there when it's time for them to fight in the ring. Talking about fighting ring, tomorrow night is Izuku's turn. Izuku sighed and buried his face in his brother's chest. "I'm tired, Kei," Izuku mutters to Keigo's shirt. "I know, Zu. Just a little more. One more time." That is what they tell each other every single time. One more time. One after another, they will tackle it one by one. Keigo continued to comfort Izuku, humming soft lullabies. He didn't know where they came from. They both have their own lullaby, and they always succeed in the quest of putting the other to sleep or calming down a frightened civilian. After Izuku had fallen asleep, Keigo made no move to leave him, merely shifted and positioned himself so he also laid on the bed. Izuku on top of him, making sure they were both comfortable before drifting off himself. This might be the last time they spent together after all. Once again, Keigo sits on the edge of a building, but this time he is alone. Keigo didn't want to go back. Not yet. He didn't want to find out what happened to Izuku. Keigo is too scared to get back and fight them, cleaning up what remains of Izuku. Ruby. Keigo jumped and immediately entered his fighting stance. Then he sees Eraserhead standing there. Keigo's shoulders slump as he suppressed a sigh. Eraserhead, Keigo said with a nod. Where's Emerald? Keigo flinched and looked away at the question. Keigo wanted to tell Eraserhead so he could save Izuku, but then what? What will happen after that is unknown, and Keigo hates the unknown. He got something to do. That happens every once in a while. Keigo settled his answer with a shrug. Thankfully, Eraserhead isn't prying or making Keigo want him to. Or maybe Keigo wanted him to. Keigo just watched as Eraserhead reached for his belt pouch, not even trying to brace himself for the possibility of an incoming attack. But to Keigo's disappointment, Eraserhead takes out a plastic bag and throws it at him. Keigo just catches it. Whatever it is, Keigo doesn't really care right now. Maybe Keigo is desperate. Eraserhead is a hero, a great one at that. There's no way he will attack him unprovoked. Share this with Emerald. You both are doing great. Keigo looked up to him for the first time since Eraserhead arrived, really taking him in. He looked rough, hair messier than the night before, and Keigo can tell his capture weapon is shorter than it used to be. Seems like we are not the only ones who have a hard night, Zoo. Well, thanks, Eraserhead. With that, Keigo took off to the night. Shota doesn't have any hope of meeting the Vigilante twins tonight, but seems like the world is keen to balance up things tonight. Because after so many crimes, Shota has the chance to meet one of them again. When Shota stepped onto the same roof, only Ruby was there. Emerald was nowhere to be found. Shota expected Ruby to immediately call him out, but even after a full minute, Ruby was just sitting there. Then Shota calls for him, and he is immediately ready for an attack to come. Shota knows something isn't right about the kid. Maybe it's because his other half isn't with him. Twins often have to be together to fully function mentally. When Ruby shrugs off Shota's concern for Emerald disappearance, Shota knows tonight isn't the night he can get a real conversation with them. So Shota takes out the bag of candy he has prepared and throws it at Ruby with a little encouragement and message to share it with Emerald. With a little thanks, Ruby slowly flies away. Isn't like the night before when the two of them disappeared in a matter of seconds. This time, Ruby seems like he doesn't want to go, but he also doesn't have enough social battery to stay. He, hovered up for a few seconds before taking off. Seems like it's time to get his brother in the loop and ask what can he do to gain the Vigilante twins' trust. Keigo wants to cry when he gets back to the room and Izuku's not yet to be there. He tries to reason with himself as he sits on the bed. This isn't the first time this has happened. Keiko himself comes back to Izuku already waiting for him a couple of times. But when a few hours went by without any sign of Izuku, Keigo with his body to move with no success. He wants to be with his brother. He doesn't want to be alone in this hell. That is when the door finally opens and Izuku walks in. Bruises and cuts litter his body. Keigo jumps into action, helping his brother to his bed and taking care of the wounds. Fighting in the ring and taking down petty criminals are different. As vigilantes, they can take down their opponents quickly as they can, but in the ring, they have to put up a show. In other words, let themselves get beat up first. After Izuku was all patched up, Keigo finally could breathe. Then Keigo remembers the plastic bag Eraserhead gave him and takes it out. When Keigo opens it, it's full of candies of all kinds and 4 jelly pouches. Eraserhead definitely trying to bribe them. "Zoo, you up for some candy?" Keigo asks, and Izuku perks up. "You got candy?" Izuku's eyes lit up, making Keigo smile. "Eraserhead gave it to me to share with you. I think he's trying to bribe us," Keigo says, handing 2 of the jelly pouches to Izuku. "Well, if that's so, he's already gone in the right direction," Izuku says, taking the jelly pouches. Keigo just smiled gratefully for another chance to be with his brother. That is the end of Chapter 2 of Two Bird on a Wire by Freecraft on Loose on AO3. If you like this story, please go support the author. Thank you for listening.